I'm Kiwi Steve. I'm the face behind the Kiwi Reacts.
Holy shit. That's unnecessary.
The Kiwi Reacts. For those folks who don't know what a kiwi is, apart from a fuzzy fruit, what the hell is a kiwi anyway?
Well, good question. 30 years ago, I would have said to you that a kiwi was anybody from New Zealand, but they're not. The Kiwis were a breed of people who were innovators. They come from the colony, from one of England's colonies that's the most far-flung on earth, and they've had to be innovators. They were guys who used to build fences down sheer 300-foot rock cliffs. They could build you a wedding ring out of 3 inches of number 8 fencing wire, or make you a stopwatch out of a busted water heater. But sadly, they're dying out. Socialism, political correctness, all the bullshit that went down with the you-know-what, changed them. I was back there earlier this year. All I saw was a bunch of free-moving Ken plastic muppets. Not many of the old school left.
What is a common myth about New Zealand? Aren't you guys just a part of Australia?
No, we're not. Only when we're at wars. What's a common myth about New Zealand? Common myth about New Zealand is it's a beautiful country, and it is, and that it's a great place to live, which it ain't. Not anymore. The cost of living's through the roof. You're treading on eggshells everywhere you go. There's a snitch culture of people who'll stick you on Facebook for the smallest thing and pillory you. So, no, and we're definitely not a part of Australia, although there's a hell of a lot of us living there, and your government treats us like shit.
What did you do for a living in New Zealand?
I did a lot of things for a living in New Zealand, but I can only assume you refer to my latter time there. I ran a rubbish dump, and I grew a hell of a lot of weed.
What is an achievement of yours that nobody knows about?
Oh, there's a few of those. I'd say that the best one I can think of off the top of my head was getting the CEO of an international, multinational Indian biotech company to run around all weekend picking up dog shit in Mumbai with a wheelbarrow for a project they contracted me to do on isolating phosphorus microbes. And he did it.
If you were able to visit yourself as you were approaching adulthood, what piece of advice would you give yourself?
Never let the system see who you really are.
What is your favorite mistake you've made?
Oh, there's a few of those too. I'd have to say my favourite mistake was when I went to New Zealand earlier this year. I borrowed a pair of jeans. I had to fly through China, cold as a witch's tit. So I borrowed a pair of jeans off this Swedish guy, got all the way to New Zealand, put them on my way to come back, and just before I got to customs in this Chinese airport, and they're savage, mean communist bastards, I put my hand in my pocket. I need to find a gram of fucking speed. Methamphetamine. Right before I hit customs. You imagine what would have happened if I hadn't found it? Fortunately, there was a rubbish tin beside me. I palmed it, and it went, and I got through customs and got back here.
What is the last full book you've read cover to cover?
Cold 6000, sorry, by James Elroy. It's part of a trilogy called the American Underworld Trilogy. Highly recommended reading.
Who would you say inspires you the most?
Probably Hemingway. He knew how to live a good life.
Okay, so onto YouTube. What made you decide to start a YouTube channel in your mid-50s?
Well, it was my producer's idea, really. I was casting around for something creative to do with my time. And he said to me, well, you got a unique way of putting things, and you certainly got a unique accent for putting them that way. How about we kick off a channel? and see where it goes.
Okay, so what is your target audience? Who do you want to see your content?
Well, I'm Gen X, and the way I see it is YouTube's gone the way of Facebook. Once upon a time it was for the youngies. Now it's the older generation watching it. That said, with all the hatred and crap coming through it, I'd also like to be able to reach the younger generation and pass on some Gen X wisdom to them and show them that the world is in their control and not those of their governments. We're the many, they are the few.
So what would you say is unique or at least niche about the content themes in your YouTube channel?
Those very facts. We're going to be honest, we're going to be hate-free, and we're going to do our best to be fucking funny.
So what makes you unique? I mean, yeah, you've got a silly accent and all, but what makes you so damn special?
I'm Kiwi Steve. That's what makes me special. As far as my fucking accent goes, you've got a bloody cheek, you cloudy Aussie tart.
It's obvious to keen-eyed viewers that you are no longer residing in New Zealand. What originally led you to leave your home country and move abroad?
This last time, you mean? I came here in 2017, get my teeth done. I was only here a month, which was way too short. So a year later, I came back for 3 months. I fell in love with Southeast Asia. Absolutely fell in love with it. Found my niche. And I'd met a woman. And I loved her a lot. New Zealand immigration was such a pack of pricks, they wouldn't even give her a visa for a month. So I gave them the middle finger and moved over here instead.
Care to share any stories of some wild adventures you've had living overseas? I heard something about a ladyboy.
The ladyboy story. Well, in my own defence, I've got to say, I did think it was a lady at the time. And by the time I found out otherwise, she was standing there in a motel room wearing a sarong, and I was wised up. But in my world, you pay for the ticket, you take the ride, and I'd already handed over my $25, so I wanted to get my money's worth.
Some people know, but not many. You've been all over the world. Where all have you been?
I haven't been all over the world. I've been to a few parts of it. I've been to your excrementitious country, and I've done a fair bit of South America as well. China, hopped all over Asia, here and there.
Out of all those places, you chose Southeast Asia. Why?
It's a Buddhist part of the world. It's non-violent. The people are generally very, very happy, even though they're as poor as hell, most of them. There's a great vibe here. It's cheap, it's warm, and I like it. I feel at home here, more at home than in New Zealand, and definitely safe.
Do you plan to stay in Asia?
I hope to stay in Asia. Yes, I hope to stay in Asia. That's why I need you guys to like and subscribe. I'm struggling here.
What is an expat, and do you consider yourself one?
Being honest, I don't actually consider myself an expat. And that's only because a lot of them have got a bad name for being sex tourists. And that's not my thing. That's not my thing at all. It's not what I came here for. I didn't come here to chase disadvantaged poor women. As I said, I came here for the lifestyle. So, am I an expat? Technically, yes. But in my own mind, no. In my own mind, this is home.
Would you consider perhaps finding a nice local girl to settle with and looking after yourself better?
Well, I already tried that, and it didn't work out too bloody well. So maybe there's one out there for me still. but I'm pretty cynical about that. I look after myself at the moment.
The world has been getting a little crazy the last few years. We see news of conflict all over the planet. The media is just full of doom and gloom stories. What do you say to the people who are just tired of seeing and listening to all this shit?
Well, I reckon for starters, you're right on that point. The internet's a sewer. And people are being force-fed garbage from all directions. Particularly these streamer types on Twitch and Kick. It's just hatred and nastiness. What I'd say to them is, don't buy into it. Don't believe it. Tune out of it. Turn your phone off for a day at a time and just open your eyes and look at the world around you. Smell the roses.
So would it be fair to say that YouTube is a sort of outlet for you?
Yeah, in a way there's a personal aspect in it being an outlet for me to vent my own feelings, but I also want to make a positive contribution. I've been around for a while now. I've seen the world, seen how it works, and I'm seeing it go pretty damn stale right now. So it's an outlet for me, yes, a creative one, but it's also something I want to make a contribution from.
Would you care to introduce us to your furry friend?
You mean this guy here? This is Cunty, spelt with a K. He's not a friend. He's clearly a prop. This is a Kiwi. It's the national bird of New Zealand. That's why I picked him. Now only I can hear when he speaks. So as a prop, and we're shooting some material, occasionally he's on stage and he whispers in my ear, and I'll give you the answer to his question or his statement.
I know some viewers that already watch your content would like to know, when do you think your next upload will be?
We'll try for within 2 weeks. We've got content in the pipeline. The amount of work that goes into doing this sort of thing is huge. The appearance I make is just the tip of the iceberg. The weight of the work is really on my producer, puts in hours and hours. I put in a lot of time doing research, having to suck down all this shit on YouTube and online. But we'll aim for the next 1 to 2 weeks.
Rapid fire. You ready?
I'm ready.
Favorite beverage?
Beer.
Type of woman you're into?
Nice ones.
Favorite narcotic?
The tears of the poppy.
Favorite meal?
I'd say chili minced pork with mashed grilled eggplant on rice.
Does it hang to the left or right?
Whichever leg I tape it to. My beer's empty. I've got to go get another one from downstairs. I think you know more than enough about me. Probably more than my mother does by now. See you later.